whole John Rivers thing. Crazy.
What's hilarious is her attitude about it. She's like, "Come on, you guys should know better. Come on, really? You can't tell he's a tranny. Come on, he's a tranny. You should know that." Like, it's like so funny because it's funny because when the way she says it, I was completely convinced that she wasn't lying, that she really believed that based on the way she said it. You know what I mean?
Hella confident, right? Being like, "Come on, this is obvious." And then I can't help but see pictures. Like, I don't want to really get into it because I don't want to, but I've seen pictures too, and I'm like, you know what? That's weird.
And think about it this way, okay? You know, I'm going to bring the Bible in. Don't get crazy with me, but just hear me out. In the Bible, it says that the evil in the world, when the end times come, will be so bad, it will be so well done that even the most elite, in other words, the most religious people in the world, will be confused and fall to it, deceived by it. Think about that. What are some of the things around in the world right now that are deceiving everyone? I can think of 100 things.
Yeah, technology, right? Computers,
and we're still sitting here arguing about when damn Mark's going to come. How do you know it hasn't already come and you already got it on your head? I mean, it's crazy. Remember, it says in there, it will deceive even the most elite. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's big. That's huge. That's saying something, right? That's not just some like passive way to explain something. It's a very specific argument about how things will be. Right now, we are in the middle of that. So I think we're already in the end times, to be honest with you. I think we have been for quite a few years now. But because we all don't know exactly how it's going to all pan out, of course, it makes it difficult. But we could also look at things that the government we know can do, and we could see that the government is manipulating our world to convince us that God doesn't exist. And I'll leave the rest.
Who said that?
Me, Rick. Are you all not talking because you don't want to talk about that topic, or you're not talking?
I'm just not talking because I don't know who spoke that, if you don't mind me asking.
That was me. I'm Rookie. Or Ryan.
You're Rookie.
Either one.
Sorry, I didn't know Rookie. I don't think you're wrong.
Tell us the verse in Revelation. Tell us the verse where it says that.
I'd have to go look it up.
I think that verse is
give me a second. I'll find it.
He's looking around.
I don't study the Bible, but I'm pretty sure I wanted to correct him. I don't think it says the elite. I think it says the elect. Even the elect would be deceived. But either way, it pretty much means the same thing.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, maybe it means the same thing, but I don't remember the word elite being used in the Bible ever.
You're right. You're right. I think elite is a good comparison, but yeah, you could be right about my translation. It's Matthew 24:24. That's where it comes from. Take a look at it yourself and see what you think. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to bring religion, but you know, there's a lot of things in the Bible that we've already proven that have been true and they've been right about. So I think it's kind of hard not to at least look at it and think about it when you find out.
You're not wrong.
Regardless of whether you believe in God, the scriptures have a lot of important stuff in there that we should all be really paying attention to.
I kind of agree with you. Context. Do you mind reading it? Are you in the mood to do that? Would you prefer not to, or do you want to?
I'll read it. It says, "For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. For there shall," yeah, that's it. There's different versions of it, but that's the verse that I was speaking about. Did that clarify for everyone? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was actually expecting it to be longer. That was pretty short. That's cool. I would agree
Well,
with it.
I could go on and read the verses before and after, but I think that's what I was talking about. I thought it was just people were wanting to know what I meant, where it was.
Yeah. Well, I was asking. I specifically asked you. I was like, can you repeat the verse? So.
I'm just saying that it fascinates me how there's all this evidence and all this truth in a book, regardless of where it came from. But yet we don't want to look at it because, oh, well, it has to do with something that I don't want to talk about. It's just ridiculous. But I mean, I get it. I can relate. I just don't understand.
I'm open to the Bible, and I'm also like skeptical, but still open. It's crazy.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I have my doubts, and I'm skeptical all the time. I mean, from day to day, my opinions change. But in the end, I know that someone put us here. Somebody did. Whether it's some crazy giant or whether it's some guy in a suit or some old man with a beard. I don't care what he looks like.
It doesn't
I don't
even
care
have to
what
be a
form he is.
person.
All I know is
Imagine
if he
it
put
was
us
just a
here,
science creation. It could just be a science thing that occurred. That would be our God. Something happened, right?
right.
I
Anyway,
don't know what it is.
that's my point. Is it's like there's all this stuff that seems to be pointing, but yet we're all still going, oh well, when's it going to come? When's it going to come? How do you know it isn't already here? That's all I'm trying to say. I wasn't trying to get off on the wrong.
No, nor was I. Beautiful point. Yeah. I don't know when it's going to come or if it's going to come.
I mean, ultimately, we're about finding the truth, right? Regardless of whether or not it reflects on one side of the argument or other, right? And we do see that this is how they divide us, right? They get us all to argue about little details because that's where the devil's at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just think about it. I mean, something to...
Damn. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Can I get a mic check?
Coming in clear, bro.
Sounds good.
Have y'all talked to Christy yet? VC Verified in here. Somebody wants to try to talk to him.
Hi, Christy.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Pretty good. What brought you in? What brought you to our server? Or have you been here before?
I was here a while ago, and I came back.
Right on.
I don't know. Just
we appreciate that.
Topics and conversations held here are interesting to me.
Right. So you came to find out if we were crazy people then, huh? Or are you on one side or the other?
Probably on one side.
Just curious.
But
so what do you think? Where do you think you live then? Just out of curiosity. Do you think you live on a spinning ball, or do you think you live on a flat, non-moving object? What do you think?
Relatively.
There's no wrong answer here, by the way. Roundish, okay. And honestly, do you have any physical evidence besides those pictures they show you on TV? Do you have any physical evidence, or do you know of anybody that could give you personal evidence that actually is true?
Yeah, I know one guy deals in weather balloons, but I don't know how high they can go.
Well, I know that there's been some
lots of things
people
in life that we go off on the word of other people, and we take it in faith. There's a lot of things we take in faith.
Yeah.
And this.
Well, at least you're being honest. I respect that. No, I'm just asking because I want to know where you're at, so I know, how to, what if you're curious about stuff, we got all kinds of evidence. So that's not an issue. The issue is just, where your mind's at and whether or not you're open to learning what's really true, or whether you're more on the side where, well, I want to kind of know what you're thinking, but I really kind of keep my beliefs the way they are. You know what I mean? Are you the kind of person where when somebody tells you about something, they come over and tell you, oh, so-and-so did this or that, you want to find out, right? You're interested? Or do you just go, I don't care about that? See my point?
I'm willing to
just kind of curious. Right. Because I would ask you, if you're on the side of it being curved and all that, do you know of any scientific, measurement that they've made of the Earth being curved at all?
I have not researched it myself. I only go off of images and videos I've seen taken of it from space.
Right. I would challenge you if you're really serious, like if you're really curious, like what we're really all about, and you're not just here, just to make fun or whatever. It's up to you. I mean, it's your thing. But I mean, if you're really seriously about trying to find out what the truth is, my suggestion is that you look for that evidence, like with all your diligence. Go and try to find proof or evidence that the Earth is actually curved, besides NASA's crazy ass, ridiculous footage of whatever the hell they call that, images. If you try to do that, I think you'll kind of start to see where we're coming from.
What about
That's where we
SpaceX?
started out at.
Doesn't
Well, I
Russia
mean,
have their own space
if you don't,
program?
if you can watch a SpaceX launch and landing and still think that it's real, then I think there's something probably wrong. But I get it. I mean, a lot of people.
You know what's a
Dude,
better
trust me.
start?
Unless
Well,
they
I could
maybe
have
pick.
he's
I could
maybe he's
pick
right.
any
You
one
know
of them
what
apart.
I would start as I would start at the documentaries, which there's many of them online about the fake Apollo 11 moon landing. That's a good start.
I think really to settle it at the end of the
Yeah,
day, I'm just gonna
absolutely.
have to get in a boat and set sail.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways we
See
could
if I
prove
can
this, right? There's
get into
evidence
that
for it, right?
myself.
If the government has the evidence, then it should be open and right out there for anyone to find, right? So why is it when I go and look for that information, it doesn't exist, and no one
Okay.
seems to know where it would be even if it did?
That's
That
because
should make you wonder.
you're stupid. It's
For the
because you're
random
stupid.
lazy layman person, can you give me in under 1 minute a brief explanation of the gist of what I would need to know without going into days of research?
Hold on, I think I
Is it
misunderstood what
possible
you're
to sum it
asking.
up? Is it possible to sum up a brief explanation of the flat-like nature of the Earth in
Yeah, you
under
want
1
real
minute?
brief?
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
want real
Yeah,
brief?
please,
Yeah.
go ahead. I'd
Water,
like to hear yours.
water seeks level. Okay, that's pretty much all you really need.
Water seeks
Also,
level.
hey, if you want an easy way out and like a Nintendo version of the whole thing, go watch Eric Dubé videos. Eric Dubé.
Bay.
200 proofs. If 200 proofs doesn't get you thinking, then there's something wrong. So yeah, I'd say try that out. It's only about 2 hours, but trust me, about 15 minutes in, you're going to go, wait a minute, something's not right.
So as you holds to your belief or knowledge as fact, the Earth is flat. Well, it has three-dimensional objects and mountains and peaks and whatever, but valleys and canyons. But overall, flat. And is this a flat like disc or a flat with four corners? What is there a certain type of edge shape? Is it
Well, we don't know because
circular?
we can't actually go and investigate that. They've
So you don't
made
know
a
the shape
law.
of the border, but you know the surface itself is flat.
Well, yeah, because if you pour water into a glass, what happens to it? Does it curve on the top?
No, he made a good point though.
It lays flat except for the surface tension along the edges. It remains completely flat all the way across, right?
He
Is not
And
too
challenged
if you were
small.
on
you.
a ball,
He
if you put your
challenged
face on
you.
a ball and you
Too
rise, the
small
ball will
of an
drop away from you,
example.
right?
Isn't that too small of an example to really observe a curvature on the
No,
scale of
because
the Earth itself?
doesn't matter how long and giant the curve is. If you lay a level across the top of any curve, it won't touch on the ends because there's space there. Even if it's a microscopic amount, it's still curved, my friend.
Okay.
So unless you're saying that straight lines and parallel lines curve somehow, then I don't know how you could hold on to that particular part of it,
Something being parallel means it never intersects.
And that's just the first thing. Now there's also the fact that they can't prove that it's spinning.